There is a quiet power in the promises we make to ourselves. These are not the promises made to others to keep them happy, to meet expectations, or to gain approval. No, these are the promises that lie deep within you, whispered in moments of clarity, when you see the life you want and recognize the person you are capable of becoming. The life you promised yourself is sacred because it reflects your truest values, your deepest desires, and your potential before the world tries to define it for you. When you make that promise, you are setting a standard not for anyone else, but for yourself. And the power of that promise lies in its ability to shape your choices, guide your actions, and anchor you during times of uncertainty. Too often, people forget the commitments they've made to themselves. They let the noise of society, the doubts of others, or the weight of temporary failure divert them from the path they once swore to follow. But the ones who succeed, the ones who achieve greatness, are those who hold that promise close. They treat it like a compass. Every decision, every sacrifice, every late night of work or early morning of effort is measured against the question, does this honor the life I promised myself? That is where discipline is born, not from fear or obligation, but from respect for the life you envisioned. Making a personal promise is more than goal setting. It is a declaration to yourself that your life matters, that your dreams are valid, and that your potential will not be squandered. When you internalize that, you stop looking for external validation. You stop asking if others believe in you because the belief that matters most is your own. And here's the thing, a personal promise gives you courage. It allows you to face setbacks without losing your way because you are not just chasing success, you are honoring a commitment. You are living with integrity, first and foremost with yourself. The power of personal promises also teaches patience. It reminds you that life is not measured by immediate rewards, but by the consistent choices you make over time. Every small decision either honors or breaks the promise you made. And when you live intentionally, with that promise guiding your steps, you begin to notice a transformation. Challenges become lessons, failures become feedback, and every obstacle becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself that the life you promised is worth the fight. So, never underestimate the weight of a personal promise. It is more than words, it is a blueprint for character, for perseverance, and for the legacy you will leave. Hold on to it, protect it, let it guide you. Because in the end, the life you promised yourself is not just a dream. It is your duty to realize. Before any meaningful action, there must be vision. Vision is more than a fleeting thought or a vague idea of what you want out of life. Vision is clarity. It is a picture of the life you intend to create, so sharp and detailed that it becomes a guiding light through every trial and distraction. When you know exactly what you are aiming for, you give every step purpose, every decision direction, and every sacrifice meaning. Without vision, action becomes aimless, energy is wasted, and even the strongest effort can dissolve into frustration. But with vision, even the smallest actions compound into progress. Having a vision for your life is not something that happens by accident. It is cultivated through introspection, honesty, and courage. You have to ask yourself the hard questions. Who am I meant to be? What kind of life do I refuse to settle for? What do I want my story to look like 10, 20, 30 years from now? And when you answer these questions, do not let the answers be clouded by fear, doubt, or what others expect of you. Your vision must be yours alone, bold, unapologetic, and unwavering. Once your vision is clear, action becomes inevitable. Every choice, every commitment, every hour of effort can be measured against it. Does this action move me closer to the life I see? If it does, embrace it fully. If it doesn't, have the courage to walk away, even when it is uncomfortable or unpopular. Vision is the lens through which all decisions are filtered. It protects you from distractions and keeps you aligned with your true purpose. Without it, people often work harder but achieve less because they are moving, yes, but not in the direction their soul intended. Vision also fuels resilience. When challenges arise, and they will, your vision reminds you why you started and why it is worth pressing on. It is a source of strength when doubt creeps in, when failure threatens to shake your resolve, and when the world tries to tell you that your dreams are too big. Vision gives you a North Star, and no storm can redirect a determined person who sees clearly where they are going. Finally, vision transforms life from reactive to proactive. It allows you to shape your future rather than be shaped by circumstance. It turns dreams into plans, plans into habits, and habits into the reality you promised yourself. Every great accomplishment in history began as a vision, something someone dared to imagine before they made it real. And the same principle applies to your life. Your vision is not just a map, It is the engine of purpose, the compass of discipline, and the spark that ignites action. So take the time to see clearly, dream boldly, and define the life you want. Before you act, see it first. Before you struggle, see it first. And before you give up, remember the vision that started it all. That vision will carry you further than you ever thought possible. Life will test you. There is no way around it. Obstacles are not an exception. They are a part of the human experience. What separates those who succeed from those who falter is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to face them head on while keeping the promise they made to themselves. Overcoming obstacles begins with the mindset that difficulties are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. Every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to grow, to refine your skills, and to strengthen your character. It is a chance to prove not to others, but to yourself, that the life you envisioned is worth fighting for. When obstacles appear, it is easy to feel defeated, to question your abilities, or to consider turning back. But every person who has achieved greatness has faced moments of doubt and hardship. They, too, felt the weight of circumstances that seemed impossible to overcome. The difference is that they refused to forget the promise they made to themselves. They treated each obstacle as a lesson, not a sentence. They learned to analyze the challenge, identify the lesson, and adapt their strategy while keeping their ultimate goal in sight. Resilience is built in the crucible of adversity. When you push through discomfort, uncertainty, and failure, you develop the mental and emotional strength needed to persevere. Obstacles teach patience and endurance, forcing you to slow down, think critically, and stay committed when immediate rewards are not visible. This is where the promise to yourself becomes your anchor. When you remember the life you pledged to live, obstacles lose their power to distract you or derail your purpose. Instead, they become tests of faith in yourself, a measure of how badly you want to fulfill your promise. Another key to overcoming obstacles is perspective. It is essential to see challenges not as punishment, but as opportunities to uncover strengths you didn't know you had. Often, we underestimate ourselves, thinking that failure defines us. But it is not failure, it is feedback. Every obstacle holds a lesson that moves you closer to the life you envisioned. By reframing your struggles, you take control of the narrative of your life. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the author of your destiny. Finally, remember that no obstacle is permanent. Life is a series of ebbs and flows, highs and lows. Difficulties may slow you down, but they cannot stop the determined heart. Those who triumph do so because they keep moving, keep learning, and keep their promise alive in every decision, every action, and every moment of doubt. The path to the life you promised yourself will never be easy, but it will always be worth it. Obstacles are not there to break you. They are there to build you into the person capable of living the life you dared to promise. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many see it as restriction, as a chain that limits freedom, as something that makes life rigid or joyless. But real discipline is the very thing that gives you freedom. The freedom to live the life you promised yourself. When you commit to a standard, a routine, or a set of principles, you are not limiting yourself. You are building a structure strong enough to support your dreams. Discipline allows you to say no to distractions, to ignore short-term pleasures that derail your progress, and to stay focused on what truly matters. It is the invisible muscle that strengthens your resolve and ensures that your actions align with your goals. The paradox is that freedom is not found in chasing every whim or indulging every desire. True freedom comes from control, the control you have over your choices, your habits, and your time. Discipline is the tool that gives you that control. It is the ability to decide today what matters most and to act on it, even when the world tempts you to do otherwise. Every hour spent on meaningful effort, every sacrifice of comfort for growth, every moment of persistence is a brick in the foundation of your freedom. Without discipline, life becomes reactive. You respond to circumstances, to moods, to distractions. With discipline, you respond intentionally, moving steadily toward the life you promised yourself. Discipline also builds confidence. When you hold yourself accountable, when you follow through on commitments, when you refuse to compromise your standards, you start to trust yourself. That trust becomes a powerful form of freedom. You no longer rely on luck, external validation, or fleeting motivation to carry you. You know that if you remain disciplined, if you keep showing up for yourself consistently, you will achieve what you set out to do. In that sense, discipline is not punishment, it is empowerment. It is the recognition that your life is worth more than convenience or comfort. Another aspect of discipline as freedom is resilience. Discipline teaches you to endure the hard work, the repetition, and the sacrifices required to reach your goals. It allows you to face obstacles without giving in to frustration or despair. The disciplined person has a framework to navigate life's uncertainties. They know what is essential, and they consistently take action in alignment with that truth. That is freedoms, the ability to pursue your dreams with clarity regardless of circumstances. Finally, discipline transforms dreams into reality. Vision alone will not create the life you promised yourself. Inspiration alone will not carry you through challenges. Only disciplined action bridges the gap between desire and accomplishment. Every step, no matter how small, taken with consistency and focus, compounds into a life that is deliberate, meaningful, and free from regret. The freedom you seek is not in avoidance of work, it is in the mastery of yourself and your choices. Discipline is the key, and when you embrace it, you are truly unstoppable. Patience is one of the most undervalued qualities in a world that constantly demands instant results. We live in an era where everything is fast: information, communication, even gratification. But the life you promised yourself is not built overnight. It is forged over time, through deliberate effort, steady discipline, and the unwavering belief that your vision will unfold as it should. Patience is the soil in which your dreams take root. Without it, even the most brilliant vision can wither under frustration, doubt, or the temptation to take shortcuts. Understanding patience means understanding timing. There is a rhythm to growth that cannot be rushed. Skills take time to master. Relationships take time to deepen. Character takes time to strengthen. Every great accomplishment in history, every life transformed, began with patience, an ability to persist, even when immediate results were not visible. Those who succeed are not always the fastest or the most talented. They are the ones who endure, who trust the process, and who remain steadfast in the face of delay. Patience is the engine that powers long-term success. It allows you to keep moving forward even when the path seems slow, uncertain, or invisible. Patience also teaches perspective. When you learn to wait, to endure, and to accept that progress is gradual, you gain clarity. You begin to see that setbacks are not failures but necessary steps. You realize that each struggle, each challenge, each delay is shaping you into the person capable of handling the life you promised yourself. Impatience, on the other hand, leads to mistakes, frustration, and the temptation to abandon your vision for a quick fix. Patience provides the wisdom to know that some things must unfold in their own time, and that rushing often sabotages the very results you are working for. Another dimension of patience is resilience. Waiting, enduring, and persisting in the face of uncertainty strengthens your character. It builds mental toughness and emotional stability. It allows you to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs without losing sight of your goals. When you are patient, you can approach challenges with calm and confidence rather than panic and despair. You understand that every effort, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture. Patience becomes your anchor, holding you steady when storms arise and giving you the fortitude to continue toward your promise. Finally, patience is closely tied to gratitude and appreciation. When you give time for growth, you learn to value the journey, not just the destination. Every milestone, every small victory, every lesson learned along the way becomes meaningful. Patience allows you to fully inhabit your life, to savor the process of becoming the person you promised yourself you would be. It teaches that fulfillment is not only about reaching the goal, but about how you grow, endure, and transform on the way there. In the end, patience is not passive. It is an active choice to stay committed, to trust the process, and to respect the timing of your own life. It is the quiet strength that ensures you will not forget the life you promised yourself, no matter how long it takes to achieve it. Belief in yourself is the foundation of every meaningful achievement. It is the inner voice that says, "I can." When the world screams, "You cannot," doubt is natural. It creeps in silently, fueled by fear, comparison, and the skepticism of others. But the life you promised yourself demands that you rise above it. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is the quiet, unwavering confidence that your abilities, your choices, and your commitment can carry you through challenges and toward the vision you hold. Without it, even the clearest plans can crumble under the weight of uncertainty. To believe in yourself means to trust in your own judgment and in the promise you made to yourself, even when others question it. People will doubt your potential, criticize your dreams, or suggest you aim lower. Their doubts are a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. If you let external voices dictate your self-worth, you will forget the life you promised yourself long before you even begin. Belief in yourself is the armor that shields you from discouragement. It allows you to keep moving forward, to take risks, and to embrace opportunities that others might shy away from. Self-belief is cultivated through action. Every time you honor your promise, every time you overcome a challenge, every time you push past fear and take deliberate steps toward your vision, you strengthen your confidence. It is not enough to simply wish for success or hope that circumstances will align. Confidence grows when you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. The more you act in alignment with your promise, the more your belief in yourself solidifies, creating a cycle of momentum that propels you forward. Doubt will always exist, and that is not the enemy. The enemy is letting doubt control you. Belief in yourself is not the absence of doubt, it is the decision to act despite it. Even when fear whispers that you are not enough, even when setbacks shake your confidence, even when the world seems stacked against you, your belief in your own potential becomes your guiding force. It is a reminder that your vision, your promise, and your life matter, and that no external opinion can diminish what you have committed to becoming. Ultimately, self-belief is a choice you make every day. It is a commitment to honor your promise, to trust your instincts, and to move forward even when the path is uncertain. Those who achieve greatness are not necessarily smarter or luckier. They are relentless in their belief in themselves. They refuse to let doubt dictate the terms of their lives. They understand that the greatest victories come from trusting your own capacity, nurturing your potential, and never forgetting the life you promised yourself. Self-belief transforms doubt into fuel. It turns fear into action. And it ensures that, no matter the obstacles or naysayers, your commitment to yourself remains unshakable, guiding you toward the life you have vowed to create. Failure is not the end of the journey. It is a crucial part of it. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced moments where things fell apart, plans collapsed, and dreams seemed impossible. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not luck or talent alone. It is the ability to learn from failure, to take the lessons, and to keep moving forward with purpose. Failure is not a punishment, it is a teacher. It exposes weaknesses, reveals blind spots, and provides the feedback necessary to refine your approach. The life you promised yourself will demand that you embrace these lessons, not shy away from them. When you fail, it is natural to feel disappointment, frustration, or even shame. But these emotions are temporary, and they are only destructive if you allow them to dominate your mindset. The wise recognize that every setback carries insight. Why did this happen? What can I do differently next time? How can I adapt my strategy without compromising my vision? These are the questions that transform failure into progress. Each mistake becomes an opportunity to recalibrate, to grow, and to strengthen your commitment to the life you promised yourself. Learning from failure also requires humility. It means accepting that you are not perfect, that you do not have all the answers, and that growth is a continuous process. Those who fear failure often avoid challenges or refuse to take risks, which limits their potential. But the person who views failure as a stepping stone sees each setback as a necessary part of building resilience, knowledge, and character. Every failure is a chance to become smarter, stronger, and more capable of navigating the complexities of life. Another crucial aspect of learning from failure is perseverance. Failing does not define you, giving up does. When you fall short of your expectations, the most important action is to rise again, to dust yourself off, to apply what you've learned, and to move forward with renewed determination. The life you promised yourself is not built by avoiding mistakes. It is built by confronting them, extracting wisdom, and continuing relentlessly toward your vision. Failure is temporary, but the lessons it provides can last a lifetime. Finally, embracing failure transforms your mindset and your approach to life. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for growth. You cultivate patience, resilience, and courage. You understand that each setback is a part of the journey, a necessary thread in the tapestry of your success. The ability to learn from failure ensures that even when things don't go as planned, you are never truly lost. You are simply recalibrating on the path to the life you promised yourself. Failure is not your enemy, forgetting the lessons it brings is. When you approach mistakes with reflection, humility, and determination, you turn obstacles into advantages, weaknesses into strengths, and setbacks into stepping stones. That is how the life you promised yourself becomes not just a dream, but a reality shaped by wisdom and perseverance. Every promise you make to yourself carries more weight than you might realize. It is not just about the life you live today, it is about the legacy you create for tomorrow. The life you promised yourself is a blueprint for who you are, what you stand for, and how your presence in the world will be remembered. Legacy is not measured solely by wealth, fame, or accolades. It is measured by impact, influence, and integrity. When you honor your promise, you are not just shaping your own path, You are setting an example for those who come after you, inspiring them to believe in themselves and to pursue their own potential with courage and commitment. Living a life true to your promise teaches others about perseverance, discipline, and self-belief. People will watch you navigate challenges, witness how you handle failure, and see the consistency with which you honor your commitments. Your actions speak louder than words. They create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate circle. By fulfilling the life you envisioned, you show others that it is possible to rise above doubt, to overcome obstacles, and to transform dreams into reality. That is the essence of a meaningful legacy. It is the impact your life has on the lives of others, often in ways you may never even see. Legacy also requires accountability. Every choice you make either strengthens or weakens the life you promised yourself. Living intentionally means recognizing that your decisions matter, not just for your own success, but for the example you set. It is about integrity, consistency, and the courage to stay true to your values even when it is inconvenient or difficult. The legacy of your promise is not built by shortcuts, compromises, or fleeting victories. It is built by persistent effort, deliberate action, and unwavering dedication to the life you vowed to live. Another critical aspect of legacy is inspiration. When people see someone who refuses to give up on their promise, who pursues their vision with patience and discipline, they are motivated to do the same in their own lives. Your journey becomes proof that greatness is not reserved for a select few. It is available to anyone willing to commit, endure, and grow. By holding fast to your personal promises, you inspire courage, resilience, and ambition in others, leaving an indelible mark on the world that outlives your immediate presence. Finally, understanding legacy helps you stay focused. When you think beyond today and consider the long-term impact of your life, you are less likely to be swayed by temporary distractions, fleeting failures, or superficial desires. You remember that the life you promised yourself is not just for you. It is for the broader story you leave behind. Every effort, every act of discipline, and every choice made in alignment with your vision becomes part of that legacy. The legacy of your promise is the ultimate testament to your life. It is proof that you honored yourself, that you lived with intention, and that you made a meaningful impact on the world. When you embrace this truth, every decision becomes purposeful, every action deliberate, and the life you promised yourself becomes more than a dream. It becomes a lasting influence that echoes far beyond your own journey. As we come to the close of this journey together, remember this: the life you promised yourself is not a fantasy. It is a commitment. It is a declaration that your dreams matter, your potential is real, and your purpose is worth every ounce of effort. You have the power to shape your destiny, but only if you honor the promises you made to yourself. Obstacles will come, doubts will rise, failures will test your resolve, but each challenge, each setback is an opportunity to grow stronger, to learn, and to reaffirm your commitment. Discipline will guide you, patience will sustain you, and self-belief will carry you when the world questions your vision. Every step you take in alignment with your promise builds not just the life you desire, but the legacy you leave behind. Never forget that this promise is sacred. It is the compass that directs your actions, the anchor in storms, and the spark that ignites purpose in your life and in the lives of those around you. Live intentionally. Take every lesson from failure. Embrace every challenge. Move forward with unwavering courage and relentless determination. The life you promised yourself is worth fighting for. Let it be the standard by which you measure every choice, the motivation that drives you when times get hard, and the light that illuminates your path when darkness tries to take hold. So go forward with conviction, with faith, and with passion. Keep your promise alive every single day. Because in the end, the life you promised yourself is not just about achieving goals. It is about becoming the person you were always meant to be. Live it fully, live it boldly, and never forget the life you promised yourself.